We are so excited to welcome into In the Bonus Marquette's very own Lee Volker, the senior guard, just most recently scored a career high 24 points in a huge road win over Seton Hall. Lee, thanks so much for hopping on.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Let's start there. Career high. First and foremost, let's talk about the game because that was a pretty intense game between your team and the Pirates. Ultimately, you guys winning 68 to 61 on the road where it's really hard to win at Seton Hall. Could you take us through that game?
Yeah, I think we definitely had a little bit of an extra chip on our shoulder going in, having dropped our home game against them. But I was just really proud of how we competed. We knew it was going to be a game of runs, and I think we came out of the gate super strong, on the aggressive, and then of course they answered. But I think it really just came down to, like effort plays and those, the extra little miles, or the extra little step, and yeah.
With your career high, at what point in the game did you really start to feel like you were in rhythm?
Yeah, I actually hesitated on a couple shots to start the game. And after our first media timeout, I had a teammate come up to me and say, like, you better shoot your shot. And then after that, I felt like my aggressiveness just like turned on a little bit. So I really appreciate that confidence from my teammates.
Who was your teammate who said that to you?
Ariel Stevens.
I love that so much. Speaking of your teammates, what's the dynamic like with you and your teammates this season? I feel like every year, right? Each team takes their own characteristics, takes on their own kind of, nickname, all of that stuff, if you will. What is the vibe of the squad this year?
I think all of us just love to compete. And I think that's like been huge for us because whatever adversity and problems arise throughout the season that are bound to happen, everyone has a great mindset of like, we're learning and we're figuring this out and we're doing it together. So I think it should be really fun to get to know everyone as we've gone through the year. And as we're getting to kind of the end of conference play, I think we're just on a really good trajectory of, yeah, the direction we're headed.
And speaking of getting to know everyone, right? You do have a new head coach this season in Kara Consuegra. What's it been like getting to know your coach even more, playing for her especially?
Yeah, Coach Kara has been awesome. I love playing for her, and I can speak for my team saying we all love playing for her. One thing I really love is how like she always goes back to her morals and the things we talked about at the beginning of the season. We're very rooted in, heart is our mantra, kind of her mantra. And she really does live that out in everything she does and how she coaches us. So it's been great to play for her.
I'm interested to kind of take that a little further, take that a little deeper. How have you, right, if heart's at the center of everything, how have you taken that into play in your life outside of basketball?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, it's a great life lesson, like just coming at everything, every challenge with really just a mindset of like, you're not going to know everything, but you can always we talk all the time about 1% better every day. And I think that's kind of the core of it is, full effort and meeting challenges as they come.
When you think about your career, I mean, I know you started at Duke, right, transferring over to Marquette. When you think of where you've gotten 1% better each and every day, and now ultimately your senior season really flourishing, how do you put into words the growth that you've had over the years?
Well, first of all, it's crazy to hear, senior season, making me
Right?
feel
It's wild.
I'd buy so fast, but no, I can definitely feel it. And just looking back over the year, like little things I've added over the course of time that have kind of just really accumulated to now, and me being able to kind of take on more of a leadership role and try to help my teammates see that growth in themselves too. So it's been really fun.
How are you, leader?
This year I've definitely had to step up, not only being the oldest, but also one of the returners on the team. And for me, I may not be like the loudest in the gym all the time, but I'm definitely talking the whole time and maybe doing stuff more on an individual level. But I think on the defensive end and just using my voice, keeping us all on the same page as much as possible, it's been a challenge, but fun to figure out.
Has it come like naturally to you? It's always interesting, I feel, to talk leadership with players where for some players it's like, yes, I loved it, went right into that role, and for others it did take a little while to get used to.
I would say that I do enjoy it. I think growing up, I was a coach's kid for most of my high school career, and then like with travel ball at least. And then I think college is a bit of a shock at first, but I think Coach Care has put a lot of confidence into me, and the 5 or 6 of us that were already here last year, kind of just talking through it with all the new girls coming in. We were trying to be really the words escaping me right now. Intentional with how we, kind of brought everyone in and wanted to make sure that we did it together. So yeah.
I love that so much. And speaking of, with all of the new players that you have on the team, it's going to be for a lot of them their first Big East tournament. And it's crazy to also say that that's right around the corner. How have you started to get some of your newer and younger teammates excited for March and everything that's to come, looking ahead to Mohegan Sun Arena?
Yeah, I think everyone's super excited. Like I said, we just love to compete together. And as the Big East has taken its course, like no easy games. So I think that's just always, at the forefront of our mind going into any matchup and getting to do it on a bigger stage. I mean, we're just looking forward to it.
Let's have some fun now. Let's let Big East women's basketball fans get to know Lee a little bit more, okay? So, if we are not playing basketball, right, we've got a hobby. What is a hobby that is something that you enjoy doing, that's not hoops, that's not working out, that you have some fun with?
My mind kind of goes to two things. I really like to read. I'm a big reader. And I also have a PlayStation, and a few of my teammates and I really like to do that together. So yeah.
Okay, okay. I got follow-ups here. First and foremost, let's talk about the reading. What's the genre? What types of books do we like to read? What are you currently reading?
Well, actually, Coach and I challenged each other to finish up a book this year. I beat her to it, but we just read Atomic Habits.
So
So
good.
that was really
So
helpful.
good.
Good
Mm.
book, yeah. Currently, I really like adventure like mysteries. Right now, I'm reading some Brandon Sanderson books that are really good. So that's been fun. But yeah.
I love that so much. Okay, music. If you are going to have the aux cord for pregame playlist, what is on the pregame playlist?
I'll tell you, I'm not allowed to touch the aux cord.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. So I'm not the person to ask that question, but that's right. That's my teammates. That's why it's a group effort. That's why.
Okay, so who on the team are we trusting with the pregame playlist?
I'm 100% Kennedy Perkins KP every time. Yeah.
Love it. What's DJ KP playing?
Right now, lots of Kendrick after the Super Bowl. Um,
Yes.
yeah, Tyler the Creator, and honestly, any random requests like I don't know, a little bit of Linger, just some random stuff in there. You know how it is.
I love it. I love it. Pregame meal. What if you get to choose what you can have pregame? What are we having?
My favorite meal all time, spaghetti and meatballs, no matter the situation. Um, I
Are we
think some,
loading it up with cheese? Are we putting red pepper flakes on it? What are we doing?
minimal flavor, just the basic and easy.
Okay, basic. Are you that this brings me to a question, do we cook? Are you a chef? Are we
I really, really try to cook. I attempt.
okay?
But a lot of times I gotta call up Skylar or Hallie and they gotta come over and help me out with my measurements. Somehow there's always too much of one thing, not enough of another. Yeah. Or
That's
the
okay.
oven get turned off. Like there's a lot of things. Yeah.
So when there's too much of one thing or not enough of the other, are we just it's bland? Are we missing spices?
Something like floppy brownies, can't get the meat quite cooked all the way
Oh
through.
no, Lee.
We're learning. I'm trying my best.
Okay, that's no problem. We got team. That's why it's a team effort. That's why we have teammates here. When they're coming in to help you cook, what are we making?
What have we made? Um, Usually it's something with dessert. We like to bake. We've made strawberry shortcake. That was a challenge. It's got to be the right density. Lots of brownies, lots of pumpkin bread, banana bread, all that good stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of dessert, I'm going to put you on the spot here a little. All right. It's Valentine's Day weekend coming up here. Okay. So if you have a Valentine or if, a Valentine is looking to say, oh no, I need a plan. I need to make sure I'm going to be impressing somebody. What's your piece of advice for someone out there looking to create a special Valentine's Day situation?
Oh my gosh. I don't have one, but if I were, I would definitely go for something to do with chocolate ice cream. Honestly, anything with chocolate, I'm there. So I don't think anybody's too picky. I mean, anything thoughtful with chocolate.
Okay. So a little chocolate dessert, that's the game plan.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. Lee, thank you so much. Congratulations yet again on your career high. Next up for the Marquette Golden Eagles is DePaul this weekend, February 15th, Saturday at 2 p.m. Central Time. You can catch them on the Big East Digital Network.